everyone, it's Bella and welcome back to my channel. When you're watching this video, I will probably be in Italy because if you have been with me for a while, you know that I am going there to study abroad for a month in the summer. It's my first time being outside of the country, so this is a whole new experience for me. I thought that studying abroad was a really good topic for some of my videos. Obviously, I'm going to be vlogging there or doing the best I can to vlog as much as I can, but I thought that it would be cool to do a video beforehand about travel tips. If you've been with me for a while, you know that I recently did a pack with me video for Disney World, and I didn't really want to do a packing video again. I think that a really cool idea that would be helpful for people who are traveling internationally is a travel tips video. So before I start the video, I just want to say disclaimer, these opinions are all my own. I don't have proof that they've worked for anyone or anything. I generated them based off of my experience with packing and preparing. So yeah. So I apologize if these tips are kind of like out of order. I have them all like listed randomly and I'm honestly such a mess right now. Like I have been rushing nonstop for the past week because I just got back from Disney World and now I'm trying to prepare for Italy. So things are just really crazy, but I really wanted to make this video for you guys. And based on all the preparations that I've done, I think that these tips that I have can be really useful for someone who's trying to travel internationally or study abroad. So let's do this thing. So the first tip that I have on my list for studying abroad or traveling internationally is to pack in your carry-on small tubes of toiletries that you might need. So this may mean toothpaste, eyewear contacts, so it would be a little bottle of solution for me that fit the requirements that the airline has for you, because there's usually a rule for carry-on for how many milliliters you're allowed to have in the liquids in your bag. So since the flight is probably like really long, for me, it's gonna be really long, I know that. You'll most likely start to feel pretty gross at a certain point. You'll probably wanna brush your teeth in the bathroom or, you know, take your contacts out if you're trying to sleep, whatever it might be, because then that way you have at least something to help you feel a little bit better rather than sitting there and feeling like you're rotting. Because I know that I would feel that way. So yeah, the next tip I have is to bring good walking shoes that have support. You need to have supportive shoes that are lightweight and not heavier, because when you're traveling and you're doing an international trip, odds are you're going to be walking all day, you're gonna be doing tours and things like that. So you're gonna be on your feet and you wanna make sure that you have support. So the other day I went to Kohl's and I found these shoes. They are these sandals that have elastic straps and then they have a padded bottom that's like lightweight, like it has arch support, and it does have a little bit of a heel, which is cool because it's like I'm wearing heels, but at the same time they're really comfortable and they're not gonna like hurt my feet. The next thing that I would recommend is to have an RFID blocking wallet. If you're unaware, people can walk by and use these scanners and get your information through your wallet. So if you get a wallet, I would recommend the easiest way of getting one is to get it on Amazon, and it's not a lot of money. I got one that was literally $12, I think. You can put your passport in it, your card, any cash that you might have, like anything like that, your driver's license, and then that way it's protected and you don't have to worry about someone like coming through and trying to get your information. This next one kind of goes along with that, but you want to have a fraud protected international card. So with this, you can put all your money on a card that's fraud protected. I feel like I'm being really redundant here. Then that way, again, no one can get your information, not having to worry about converting cash to euros or anything like that. I'm personally going to Italy, so that's what it would be for me, but things like that. But going off of that, you will want to have an amount of cash set aside. As my professor recommended to me in preparation for this trip, put aside $300 in cash. Then that way, if you run into a situation where you want to pay for something and they don't accept cards, then you can just whip out your cash. You don't have to worry about not being able to buy anything. You got the cash. The cash can be converted at the airport. So it can be converted into whatever form of cash you need for where you're going at the airport. So that's what I'm gonna be doing, is I'm gonna take that small amount of cash, convert it, and then I'll have that on me in case there's anywhere that does not accept cards and only accepts cash. The next thing, and this might apply to girls more, I don't know, is to bring an over-the-shoulder bag for throughout the day. I've been told that you can bring a backpack, but that it's risky because people can pickpocket you because it's on your back, especially when you're walking through crowds. So because I'm such a paranoid person, I'm worried about that. I am going to bring a backpack anyway, and the reason for that is because I couldn't really find an over-the-shoulder bag that had enough space, because this is an art trip that I'm taking and I'm gonna have my sketchbook and pencils and pens and all that with me at all times, so I might have to use my backpack on certain days just because I can't fit everything in an over-the-shoulder bag. But bottom line is you definitely want to have an over-the-shoulder bag, so then that way you can put your belongings, certain things that you need throughout the day in that bag. Then the bag is sitting on your hip. You can make sure that you're watching it and you know that, you know, no one's trying to get into it. This next one is kind of a given, but you definitely want to bring a neck pillow. I just got one. I've never really used one before because I don't fly often. I don't do a lot of traveling, don't have the money for it. It's fine. And then earbuds, because you're gonna want to be listening to music. The next thing that I have on my list is to pack a change of clothes in your carry-on. I've read this everywhere, I've heard this everywhere. Packing a change of clothes in your carry-on is important just in case your luggage gets lost. So I know that the thought of your luggage getting lost is probably really nerve-wracking. I know that it is for me. Like I said, I get anxious about everything and I'm like, what the heck? I have all my clothes in there. I have a lot of things that I love in my regular bag and I don't want it to get lost. But just in case, you might want to bring a change of clothes in your carry-on in case you run into something and you know, don't have your luggage for a few days, or you literally just lose it forever. The next travel tip I have is to either download an app or get a little book that teaches you the language of the country you're traveling to. So for me, I did download a couple of apps. There's an app called Duolingo, and this one teaches you the language and it gives you like lessons and stuff like that. Personally, because I'm such a last minute person, I just started using this and I know that there's no way I'm gonna learn the whole Italian language in a couple of days. So I'm gonna use this on the side, but I actually found this little book at AAA when I was getting my international card. It has a lot of key phrases that you're gonna need when you're traveling. So things like, you know, asking for directions or asking for your bill when you're at a restaurant, or greeting people or things like that, because then that way, instead of just putting a phrase into Google Translate, you actually have the phrases that are like proper to use. I have heard that some people when they travel, they think they can use like the casual phrase for saying hello or something like that, but in reality, you should be using a more formal phrase since you don't know the people there. And little books like the one that I got will teach you those important phrases, so then that way you're not like sounding like a tourist. The next one is for all the girls watching. Depending on where you're going, like I said, I'm going to Italy. So I don't know like what other countries have these rules too. But I do know that in Italy, when you go into the churches, and that's often very common for tours and things like that, that you'll be at churches, your shoulders and your knees need to be covered. And if they're not, I don't think they let you in. So that would be pretty bad. So you should either have a long sleeve sweater that goes past your knees, like one of those longer ones, or have a scarf to like tie around your waist or hold around your shoulders. I'm gonna be using scarves because my grandma came in clutch and she has some pretty nice scarves if you ask me. I have two of them. I have like a pattern one and then a plain one. So I'm gonna use those anytime that I need to like cover my knees or my shoulders. The next travel tip I have for you guys is to put a lock on your luggage. I just got it from Walmart. It was cheap. A TSA accepted lock. It has a 3-dial combination that you come up with. Just have to make sure you remember that code or else you're not gonna get into your luggage. You don't have to worry about someone getting in and getting your stuff. And the good thing about that, like I said, it's TSA accepted. So it says, I'm reading the back of the instructions right now, but it's saying that the screening stations have a set of tools that they use to unlock this, but then they like relock it for you. So that's cool. And then that way you don't have to worry about someone getting in. You know that you're allowed to use it. They can get in if they have to go into your luggage. I have one last travel tip for you guys for traveling internationally, and that is to dress comfortably and in layers. So like I said, I don't have experience with being on these planes so far. However, I do know that it could either be hot or cold on the plane. So what I'm going to be doing is wearing a pair of leggings with a tank top. So then that way that's not like too hot or too cold of an outfit. But then if I do get cold, I'm going to throw on a jacket that I have. It's a lightweight jacket. That way I'm comfortable, I'm in layers, and then I have something comfortable to sleep in if I'm sleeping on the plane. Honestly, who knows if I'm going to sleep on that plane? No, if I don't sleep in cars, then I probably can't sleep in planes. So I guess this means that I'm gonna be awake for like over 24 hours. Honestly, I mean, that's just me. I'm not saying that it's not gonna be possible to sleep on the plane. I just know that for some reason, I can like only sleep in a bed. I can't sleep anywhere else. It's so difficult for me. Like I can't adjust to it. But it's okay because then when I'm jet lagged, wouldn't that help me? Because then when I get there, when I sleep that night, I'll be really tired. So that was the list of tips that I think are best for someone who is trying to travel internationally or study abroad. I hope that these were helpful to you guys. Like I said, I've never traveled abroad before, so this is my first time doing this. Based on my packing, I think that these are the best tips that I have. So that concludes this travel tips video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, give it a thumbs up. And subscribe if you're new here. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye!